Hello students, today we will resume our discussion from categorical syllogism. So, all of you know what is a syllogism? A syllogism is a mediate deductive inference in which the conclusion follows from two premises taken jointly. So, this is your syllogism, and in a categorical syllogism all the three propositions are categorical propositions and there are three terms. Each term occurs twice in the argument. Now, we will discuss nature of syllogistic argument. Nature means characteristics of syllogistic argument. What are the characteristics of syllogism? The first characteristic is in a syllogism, as you know, there are three propositions. तीनिटा proposition थाए, major premise, minor premise and conclusion. And the second characteristic is it has three terms. Three terms also you are aware about this, major term, minor term and middle term. Then the third characteristic is conclusion is hypothetically necessary in character. As you know, this is a deductive argument. Syllogism is a deductive argument. In a valid deductive argument, the conclusion necessarily follows from the premises. So, here what happens, in this inference there is the relation of implication. If we accept the premises, then we are bound to accept the conclusion. Here the conclusion is the consequent of which the premises supply the, that means they supply the antecedent conditions. That means premises are the antecedents and conclusion is the consequent. So, conclusion is hypothetically necessary in character. This is the third characteristic. Then fourth characteristic, conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. As you know, in the deductive argument, conclusion says that what is already said in the premises, jaha kuha jaichi seya kuha jaye. Conclusion does not say anything new. So, conclusion is either as general as the premises or less general than the premises. So, conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. When conclusion is more general than the premises, that argument is called inductive argument, but this is deductive argument. Conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. Now, the next characteristic is no term can be distributed in the conclusion if it is not distributed in the premise. This characteristic actually follows from the earlier characteristic. We cannot distribute a term in the conclusion which is not distributed in the premise. That means an undistributed term of the premise cannot be distributed in the conclusion, because conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. If a term is undistributed in the premise, but distributed in the conclusion, that means we come from sum to all and it becomes an inductive inference. Now, we will move to the next one, that is your structure of syllogism. Structure of syllogism, it means how the syllogism is constructed. What are the components of syllogism? First, every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 propositions. As you know, in every syllogism there are 3 propositions. One is the conclusion and others are premises. Conclusion follows from 2 premises. Then the next one is, in every syllogism there are 3 and only 3 terms. You know, there are 3 terms: major term, minor term and middle term. I have given one symbolic example here. All M is P, all S is M, therefore all S is P. Here P stands for major term, M stands for middle term and S stands for minor term. Here the conclusion is all S is P. The subject of the conclusion is your minor term. That means S is your minor term. The premise in which S occurs is known as minor premise. The predicate of the conclusion is called major term. So, here major term is P. The premise in which the major term occurs is known as major premise. So, all M is P is your major premise, all S is M is your minor premise, then all S is P is your conclusion. Now, in the conclusion you find there are 2 terms. One is minor term, the other is major term. Minor term and major term, they occur at the end points of the conclusion. They form the end points of the conclusion. They form the extreme points of the conclusion. So, these 2 terms, minor term and major term, are called extreme terms. Now, what about middle term? Middle term does not occur in the conclusion. Middle term occurs only in the premises. In the major premise, you have middle term and major term. Here, middle term establishes its relationship with the major term. In the second premise, middle term shows its relation with the minor term. So, middle term establishes its relation with major term and minor term in the 2 premises. So, after that the relation is established between major term and minor term. Then this relation between major term and minor term is expressed in the conclusion. That is why in the conclusion we find minor term and major term, but we do not find the middle term. Middle term acts as a mediator between your major term and minor term. So, it establishes the relationship between major term and minor term, then it goes out of that scene. It does not stay in the conclusion. ये जो मिडिल टर्म रो पोजीशन, ये मिडिल टर्म केवल 2टा प्रेमिस रे अकर करुछि. मिडिल टर्म रो काम हैला मेजर सहित रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश करिवो आउ माइनर सहित रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश करिवो, तापरे यार काम ओभर. तेणु सी आउ रहिबो नाही कंक्लूजन रे. कंक्लूजन रे केवल माइनर टर्म आ मेजर टर्म रहिबे. जेमिति गोटे मैरेज रे कोन हुए, जणे ग्रूम थाए जणे ब्राइड थाए, सेठी जणे मीडिएटर मध्य रही थाए. मीडिएटर बा मिडिलमैन मीडिएटर रही थाए. से मीडिएटर कौन करे, ग्रूम सहित रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश करे, तापरे ब्राइड सहित मध्य रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश करे. तापरे ग्रूम आ ब्राइड भितर रिलेशनशिप एस्टाब्लिश हो जाए. द मैरेज टेक्स प्लेस. मैरेज जेतेबेले हो जाए सेतेबेले आउ मीडिएटर सेठी न थाए. मीडिएटर रोल से ओवर हो गला मीडिएटर आसब ना सेमिति मिडिल टर्म रो पोजीशन मध्य सेया मिडिल टर्म मेजर टर्म आ माइनर टर्म भितर रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश करदब तापरे सी आउ से सीन रे रहिबो नाही सी कनक्लूजन रे रहिबो नाही कनक्लूजन रे आमे केवल देखिबा माइनर टर्म आउ मेजर टर्म भितर रिलेशनशिप. So this is the structure of syllogism. Now we will move to the figure of syllogism. Your question comes, what do you understand by figure of a syllogism? How many figures are there in syllogism? What is the position of middle term in first figure or second figure or third figure or fourth figure? So this type of questions come in your examination. Now figure of a syllogism is determined by the position of middle term in both the premises. You know, middle term occurs only in the premises. It does not occur in the conclusion. So sometimes middle term is subject in both the premises. Sometimes it is predicate in both the premises. Sometimes it is subject in the major premise and predicate in the minor premise. Sometimes it is predicate in the major premise and subject in the minor premise. So accordingly, we have 4 figures in a syllogism, 4 types of figure. Now here you see the diagram. In the first figure, middle term is subject in the major premise and predicate in the minor premise. Then in the second figure, middle term is predicate in both the premises. In the third figure, middle term is subject in both the premises. In the fourth figure, middle term is predicate in the major premise and subject in the minor premise. Now here you see, in the first figure, middle term occupies the subject place. Then in the second figure, it goes to the predicate place. In the third figure, it again comes back to its original position. In the fourth figure, it again goes to the predicate place. Now fourth figure is just the reverse of first figure and third figure is the reverse of second figure. So this is how you will remember the position of middle term in the premises. So there are 4 figures. Now figure 1. In figure 1, middle term is subject in major premise and predicate in minor premise. I have given one symbolic example and one concrete example. Symbolic example, all M is P, all S is M, therefore all S is P. So here middle term means M stands for the middle term. M is subject in the major premise, predicate in the minor premise. Now concrete example, all men are mortal, all politicians are men, therefore all politicians are mortal. Here man is your middle term. Then second figure, middle term is predicate in both the premises. Here the symbolic example, no P is M, all S is M, therefore no S is P. Here also you find middle term occupies the predicate place in both the premises. Concrete example, no crows are quadruped, quadruped means 4-footed animal. Then the minor premise is all cows are quadruped and conclusion is no cows are crows. So this is your second figure. Now third figure. In the third figure, middle term is subject in both the premises. A symbolic example, all M is P, all M is S, therefore some S is P. Then you have the concrete example, all men are thinkers, all men are vertebrates. Therefore, some vertebrates are thinkers. So, here man is the middle term. Man occupies the subject place in both the premises. So, here actually I have given you symbolic example and also the concrete example for the better understanding of the figures, because figure is most important, it is very important in syllogism. Without understanding the figure, different types of the figure, you cannot do other things in the syllogism, means you have direct reduction, indirect reduction, all these things, and for that you have to remember the position of middle term in different figures. Now, the fourth figure, middle term is predicate in the major premise and subject in minor premise. Symbolic example, all P is M, no M is S, therefore, no S is P. So, middle term is predicate in the major premise and subject in the minor premise. All parrots are squawking animals, no squawking animals is a dog, therefore, no dog is a parrot. So, squawking animal is your middle term here. Now, let us discuss mood. What is this mood? Mood is a form of syllogism which is determined by the quality and quantity of the premises or by the quality and quantity of all the propositions. That means, here we take not only the premises, but also the conclusion into account. So, here we take 3 propositions into consideration. Now, this mood is used in 3 different senses, in the wide sense, in the wider sense and in the narrow sense. In the wide sense means, here we take into account only the premises, only there will be 2 premises. In the wider sense, we take into account the premises as well as the conclusion. So, that means there will be 3 propositions. Wide sense रे तुमर रहिबो केवल 2टा proposition माने 2टा premise, आउ wider sense रे तुमे premise सहित conclusion को मध्य रखिबो, तनो सेठी रहिबो तुमर 3टा proposition. And in the narrow sense, we mean all valid moods, only valid moods. So, now we will discuss what are the moods in the wide sense. In the wide sense, mood is determined by the premises. So, here we take into account only premises. As you know, in a syllogism there are only 2 premises, 2टा premise थिबो. तेणु एठी आमे केवल 2टा premise को नबा. तेणु how to get these premises? केमती premise पाइबा? You have your 4 categorical propositions, A, E, I and O. Now, with A is one proposition, A proposition सहित आमे combine करिबा A, E, I, O. Similarly, E proposition सहित we will combine again A, E, I, O. With I proposition also we will combine A, E, I, O. Again with O proposition we will combine A, E, I, O. So, here you see I have combined A, E, I, O with A, E, I, O propositions. Now, here we have 16 moods. Here we have 16 moods. 16 moods in one figure. And as you know, there are 4 figures, 4टा figure अच्छी. एठी हमर 16 moods रहउची गोटिए figure रे. कारण A सहित आमे मिसेले A, E, I, O. सेमिति E, I, O सहित मध्य मिसेले A, E, I, O. मिसेला परे हमर आसिला टोटल 16 moods. 16 moods आमे केतरा figure रे पाइलु? 16 moods आमे पाइलु गोटिए figure रे. हमर 4टा figure अच्छी. तेणु 16 into 4 is equal to 64. तेणु 4 फिगर्स रे हमर जो चारिटा फिगर अच्छी चारिटा फिगर रे हमर टोटल रहिला 64 moods. So we have 64 moods in the wide sense. Now we will discuss the wider sense. So in the wider sense, we not only take the premises but also we take the conclusion. That means in the wider sense there will be 3 propositions, 2 premises, 1 conclusion. आमे जो वाइड सेंस रे नेइचो सेठी केवल प्रेमिस नेइचो सेठी कंक्लूजन ऐड करा जाय नाही तेनु एठी आमे पुनी कंक्लूजन ऐड करिवा जदि कंक्लूजन ऐड करिवा सेटा हे जिवो वाइडर सेंस आमर जो वाइड सेंस रे नेइचो ए सब गुडा जो अच्छे सब पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशंस अच्छे से केवल दुईटा प्रेमिस अच्छी ए सहित आमे कंक्लूजन गुडा को मध्य ऐड करिवा कौन कंक्लूजन आमे नबा से सेम AEIO सेम AEIO को आमे मिसेबा ए सहित. So here how many moods we will get? AAA, AAE, AAI and AAO. So here we have 4 variations in AA. जो ए तमर रहिला वाइड सेंस रे गोटे ए रे आमे पाइलु चारिटा वेरिएशन सेमिति सबु जेते गुडे हमर मूड रही वाइड सेंस रे प्रति मूड रे आमे चारिटा लेखा वेरिएशन पाइबो. सो हियर जदि गोटे मूड रे आमे चारिटा वेरिएशन पाइलु ए रे जदि चारिटा वेरिएशन पाइलु हियर वी हैव 16 moods in the wide sense. How many moods we will get? We will get 16 into 4 is equal to 64 moods. 64 moods we get in one figure in the wider sense. So when we have 64 moods in one figure, there are 4 figures. So how many moods we will get? 64 into 4 is equal to 256 moods. So in the wide sense we get 64 moods and in the wider sense we get 256 moods. And in the narrow sense we have only the valid moods. So naturally the number will be limited in the narrow sense. So this is all about your mood. The question comes in your examination. What is mood? How the mood is determined? How many moods are there in the wide sense? How many moods are there in the wider sense? So you have to explain the mood. Now in the wide sense we have 64 moods. In the wider sense we have 256 moods. But all these moods are not valid moods. सब गुड़ा valid moods हब नहीं. Some are valid, some are invalid. So we have to determine which moods are valid and which moods are invalid. हमको determine करिबा को पड़िबो. केमिति हमें determine करिबा कोटा valid mood? There are 3 different types of the tests. One test is use and application of general syllogistic rules. Second one is use and application of special syllogistic rules. And third one is Aristotle's dictum and reduction. So there are 3 different types of the tests. So today we will discuss the general syllogistic rules and how these general syllogistic rules help us determine the valid moods of 4 figures. Now there are 10 general syllogistic rules. In the examination the rules will come and you will be asked to prove the rules. You have to prove the rules. So listen carefully all these explanations, all the proofs of okay. Now the first rule. Rule 1. Every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 terms, neither more nor less. तुम्हें जानिच प्रति सिलोजिज्म रे केवल 3टा टर्म रहिबो, बेसी रहिबोनी किंबा कम मध्य रहिबो नाही. 3टा टर्म हमर अछि मेजर टर्म, माइनर टर्म एंड मिडिल टर्म. If we have less than 3 terms, what will happen? जदि 3टा टर्म रु जदि हमर कम रहिला ताहले कोन हबो? जदि 3टा टर्म रु हमर कम रहिला, then we will get either a single proposition or a case of immediate inference. Single proposition, roses are red. Here we have 2 terms, only 2 terms, roses and red, and this is one proposition. This is a single proposition. एटी 3टा टर्म नहीं, 2टा टर्म अच्छी, 3टा रु कम अच्छी, तेणु एटा को एटा होची हमर single proposition. And we also get a case of immediate inference. If we have less than 3 terms, we get an instance of immediate inference. For example, all students are sincere. Then from this we get the conclusion, some sincere persons are students. So here how many terms you have? You have only 2 terms, students and sincere, and this is a case of conversion, A to I, and this is your immediate inference. So if we get less than 3 terms, we will get either a single proposition or a case of immediate inference. Now if we have more than 3 terms, ताहले कौन हबो? जदि 3टा टर्म हमर बेसी रहिबो ताहले कौन हबो? We will get either no inference or a fallacy of 4 terms or a case of train syllogism. Suppose for example, if I say all trees are green and all girls are pretty, here we have 2 propositions. How many terms we have? We have 4 terms. Trees, green, girls and pretty. 4 terms are there. But 4 terms are unconnected terms. There is no connection among these terms. कौनसी connection नहीं. If there is no connection, how can we draw the conclusion? Conclusion also cannot be drawn. So here we have 4 terms, and this is not a case of inference. We cannot draw any conclusion. एथिरु हमें कौनसी प्रकार conclusion आनी परिबा नहीं. And this is called fallacy of 4 terms. And sometimes we also get an instance of train syllogism. What is this train syllogism? गोटे syllogism थिबो, सेटा गोटे syllogism भलिया तुमको लागुथिबो जे सेठी गोटिए syllogism अछि, किंतु actually if you analyze that syllogism, you will find that there are more than one syllogism. गोटिए परि लागुथिबो किंतु ता भितरे बहुत गुडे syllogism थिबो, ता भितरे आ गोटे थाई परे, 3टा थाई परे, 4टा थाई परे, एम्ति थाई परे. So that is called train syllogism. जेमिति गोटे ट्रेन रे बगी सब गोटे परे गोटे थाए, सेमिति syllogism भितरे मध्य अलगा syllogisms रही थाए. Let us see one example. All students are young men. All young men are ambitious. All ambitious men are industrious. Therefore, some industrious persons are students. So here how many terms you have? You have 4 terms: students, young man, ambitious and industrious. 4टा term अच्छी. If you analyze this, then you will find that it contains 2 syllogisms. 2टा syllogism आ भितरे रहिछि. केमती 2टा syllogism रहिछि? Let us see. All students are young men. This is one premise. Then all young men are ambitious. This is the second premise. From these 2, we get द कनक्लूजन यही दुईटा प्रेमिस को लेकर आमे गोटे कनक्लूजन पाइबा को कनक्लूजन पाइबा आमे पाइबा जे सम एम्बिशियस पर्सन्स आर स्टूडेंट्स एटा हला कनक्लूजन तेणु फर्स्ट दुईटा प्रेमिस रु आमे गोटे कनक्लूजन पाइले सम एम्बिशियस पर्सन्स आर स्टूडेंट्स ये जो कनक्लूजन पाइले वी विल टेक दैट कनक्लूजन एज वन प्रेमिस ये कनक्लूजन टाको गोटे प्रेमिस भाव में नबा देन देयर इज द थर्ड प्रेमिस ऑल एम्बिशियस मेन आर इंडस्ट्रियस सो हियर वी गेट टू प्रेमिसेस दीटा प्रेमिस पाई गले गोटे कनक्लूजन है आउ गोटे है थर्ड प्रेमिस दीटा प्रेमिस रू देन वी विल गेट द कनक्लूजन सम इंडस्ट्रियस पर्सन्स आर स्टूडेंट्स सो हियर we have two syllogisms. In that argument we have two syllogisms. So this is known as train of syllogistic arguments. So if we get less than 3 terms, we get a single proposition or an instance of immediate inference. If we have more than 3 terms, then we get fallacy of 4 terms or train of syllogism. So this is all about your first rule. Now we will discuss the second rule. Second rule says that every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 propositions, neither more nor less. Second rule madhya first rule bhaliya. Actually first rule and second rule in the strict sense of the term these cannot be called syllogistic rules because they follow from the nature of the syllogism. Syllogism ra nature hochi या भितर तीनिटा proposition रहिबो आउ तीनिटा term रहिबो. So rule 2 says that every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 propositions. तीनिटा proposition रहिबो. If we have less than 3 propositions, then what will happen? We will get either a single proposition or a case of immediate inference. If we have more than 3 terms, if we have more than 3 propositions, then that means either one irrelevant proposition is contained in that or we will get a case of train syllogism. So this is all about the rule 2. So there must be 3 propositions in a syllogism. Now we will discuss rule 3. This is most important rule. In every valid syllogism, the middle term must be distributed at least once in the premises. There is no harm if it be distributed twice. And if we violate the rule, then we commit the fallacy of undistributed middle. So you know, in a syllogism, the conclusion contains the minor term and the major term. Conclusion रे तुमरो रहुची minor term और major term. Middle term does not occur in the conclusion. So middle term occurs only in the premises. दुईटा premise रे केवल middle term रहिबो. तेणु middle term रो काम कोन? Middle term major term सहित relation establish करिवो, पुणी minor term सहित relation establish करिवो, तापरे major और minor भितरे जो relationship टा आसिला सेटा को से conclusion रे देखैबो. Conclusion रे आमे देखुछु conclusion expresses the relation between major and minor terms. So middle term major term and minor term, if they will be connected with a common part of the middle term, then only there can be relation between major and minor term. जदि तुमर मेजर टर्म आउ माइनर टर्म मिडिल टर्म रो गोटे कॉमन पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड हेले ताहेले से दुईटा भितरे कनेक्शन हो पारिबो, रिलेशन एस्टाब्लिश हो पारिबो. So how can they be connected with a common part of the middle term? केमिति से माने मिडिल टर्म रो गोटे कॉमन पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड हेबे. If the middle term is distributed, if the whole of the middle term is taken into consideration, if we take the whole class of the middle term into account, then only the two extremes, that means minor term and major term, will be connected with a common part of the middle term. जदि मिडिल टर्म रो होल डिनोटेशन को आम नहीं जिबा, मिडिल टर्म रो पूरा क्लासटा को नहीं जिबा, ताहेले मेजर आउ माइनर गोटे कॉमन पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड हेबे. So if whole of the middle term is taken into consideration in comparison with one extreme, then the other extreme will be connected with the first extreme. ओके. सो जदि मिडिल टर्म को आम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करवा ताहेले जाइकरी से माने गोटे मिडिल टर्म रो कॉमन पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड हेबे. बट इफ द मिडिल टर्म इज नॉट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड, then what will happen? If the middle term will not be distributed, then major term and minor term will be connected with different parts of the middle term. से जदि मिडिल टर्म को आम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करवा नहीं ताहले कौन हम मेजर टर्म आउ माइनर टर्म से माने मिडिल टर्म रो विभिन्न पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड हो जिवे. विभिन्न पार्ट रे जदि कनेक्टेड हो जिवे ताहले से मानक भितरे आ कोनोसी प्रकार रिलेशन आसीबो नाही. I have given one example, concrete example. All physicians are educated, all ministers are educated, therefore all ministers are physicians. So here you see we have three propositions, A. All three are A propositions, universal affirmative propositions. And you know A proposition distributes subject. So here educated is your middle term. Educated occupies the predicate place in both the premises. दुईटा प्रेमिस रे एजुकेटेड होची प्रेडिकेट पार्ट रे अच्छी. प्रेडिकेट प्लेस रे जेहेतु एजुकेटेड अच्छी तेणु एजुकेटेड टा आउ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट है नाही. दिस इज अनडिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. दिस इज हियर अनडिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. So you see the circle stands for the educated class. We are not speaking about all the educated people. We are not saying anything about each and every educated person. समस्तक विषय रे कहू ना हो कारण आम एजुकेटेड को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करिनु. So here you see physicians, all physicians are educated. Now the physicians, this term is connected with the one part of the middle term. All ministers, this term also is connected with another part of the middle term. से माने विभिन्न पार्ट रे कनेक्टेड अछंती सेणु तांका भितरे कोनोसी प्रकार रिलेशन रहू नाही. सो दिस इज नॉट ए वैलिड आर्ग्युमेंट, दिस इज एन इनवैलिड आर्ग्युमेंट. सो मिडिल टर्म मस्ट बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड at least once in the premises, so that there can be relation between major term and minor term. If middle term is not distributed at least once in the premises, then we commit a fallacy or error, and that error is the fallacy of undistributed middle. The fallacy of undistributed middle. Your question comes, what is the fallacy of undistributed middle? Explain. So you have to explain this. Now we will move to the rule 4. In a categorical syllogism, if a term is distributed in the conclusion, it must be distributed in the premise. All of you know about this rule. I have discussed this when I discussed the characteristics of syllogism. Because syllogism is a deductive argument and conclusion can be either as general as the premises or less general than the premises. Conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. Conclusion is implied in the premises. Conclusion premise re rahichi, it is there in the premise implicitly and we get the conclusion out of the premises. Conclusion cannot say anything more. So, if a term is distributed in the conclusion, then it should also be distributed in the premise. जदि conclusion रे distribute हेइछि premise रे मध्य से distribute हब्बा दरकार, ताहले conclusion will be as general as the premise. किंतु जदि conclusion रे distribute हेइछि किंतु premise रे distribute हेइ नाही, ता माने we will pass from some to all cases. That will not be deductive argument, that will become inductive argument. So, if a term is distributed in the conclusion, it should also be distributed in the premise. This is the rule. If we violate this rule, then we will get the fallacy of illicit major and the fallacy of illicit minor. If you know, the subject of the conclusion is known as the minor term. If the minor term is distributed in the conclusion, but undistributed in the premise, then we commit the fallacy of illicit minor. Example, all men are mortal, all men are biped, therefore, all bipeds are rational. Here, which is your minor term? Subject of the conclusion, biped. Biped is the minor term. All three propositions are A propositions. A proposition distributes subject. So, conclusion also is A proposition. It distributes subject. तेणु conclusion रे तुमरा biped टा distribute हेइछि. किंतु माइनर प्रेमिस माने सेकेंड प्रेमिस रे बाइपेड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हेई नाही, एठी मैन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हेइछि, बाइपेड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हेई नाही. तेणु माइनर प्रेमिस इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इन द कंक्लूजन बट नॉट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इन द माइनर प्रेमिस. सो हियर वी कमिट द fallacy of illicit minor. Then illicit major. The predicate of the conclusion is known as major term. If major term is distributed in the conclusion but undistributed in the major premise, then we commit the fallacy of illicit major. Here look at this example, all cows are quadruped, no goats are cows, therefore no goats are quadruped. Here major premise is A proposition. A proposition distributes subject, E proposition distributes both subject and predicate. Conclusion is E proposition. So, here both the subject and predicate terms are distributed. So, the predicate is quadruped, this is your major term. So, major term is distributed in the conclusion. तेणु क्वाड्रुपेड है मेजर टर्म, एटा कंक्लूजन रे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हेइछि. जदि कंक्लूजन रे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हेइछि ताहले मेजर प्रेमिस रे मध्य डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हबा दरकार. जदि न हबो ताहले हमें फालासी हबो, एरर हबो. मेजर प्रेमिस को देखो, ऑल काउज आर क्वाड्रुपेड. हियर क्वाड्रुपेड इज नॉट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड, काउज इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड but predicate is not distributed. So, here we commit the fallacy of illicit major, because major term is distributed in the conclusion, but it is undistributed in the premise. I think you are getting all these things. Then rule 5. In a categorical syllogism, no conclusion can be obtained from two negative premises. So, this rule says that if both the premises are negative, no conclusion follows. If both premises are negative, no conclusion follows. You know, there are affirmative propositions and there are negative propositions. Affirmative proposition means there is a relation of inclusion between two terms. Inclusion means one term is included in the other term or one class is included within the other class. So, this is affirmative proposition, but negative proposition means here we find the relation of exclusion. Exclusion means one class is completely excluded from the other class. That means se pura bahare rahibo. No member of one class can be member of the other class. No member of the other class can be member of one class. So, there will not be any relation between these two. If major premise is negative, then there will be relation of exclusion. One is excluded from the other. So, here you see major term is different, middle term also is different. If minor premise is negative, here also the relation of exclusion operates. So, here one class is excluded from the other class. Here we have middle term, here we have minor term and they remain separate. You do not find any relation among these three terms here. Middle term is negatively related with the major term and also it is negatively related with the minor term. तेणु major और minor term से माने middle term सहित negatively related होउछंती तेणु major और minor भितरे कौनसी प्रकार relation आसु नाही. If there is no relation between major term and minor term, then we cannot draw any conclusion. No conclusion follows. Here no conclusion follows. In a valid syllogism, sixth rule, in a valid syllogism, if one of the premises is negative, then the conclusion must be negative. Here one premise is negative, both the premises cannot be negative. कारण आमे रूल पढ़िलु दीटा जाक premise negative हेई पारिबे नाही. केवल गोटे premise जदि negative हला, the other must be affirmative. So, suppose we have one negative proposition, then we will have the other affirmative proposition. The other proposition must be affirmative. In the negative proposition, no M is P. Here you see we have middle term and major term. There is the relation of exclusion. So, no relation is there between middle and major. No member of one class can be member of another class. So, they are the middle term is excluded from the major term and major term also is excluded from the middle term. But in the affirmative proposition, all S is M, affirmative proposition there is a relation of inclusion. One class is included in the other class. गोटे आरटा भितरे रहिबो. So, all S is M. S hela minor term, M hela tumara middle term. Here this is a proposition. A proposition distribute subset mane S ta distribute heichi. Now, S is your minor term. Minor term is included within the middle term. So, what happens? One term is included within the middle term, another term is excluded from the middle term. Then what type of relation exists between major term and minor term? So, here naturally there is the relation of exclusion. No member of the one class can be member of another class. So, there is a relation of exclusion between minor term and major term. So, relation of exclusion means we will get a negative conclusion. So, if one of the premises is negative, the conclusion must be negative. The converse of this rule also holds good. If conclusion is negative, then one of the premises must be negative. So, today we discussed 6 rules, and from these 6 rules all the rules are important, but third rule is most important, and there you will get the question what is the fallacy of undistributed middle, and what is the fallacy of illicit major, what is the fallacy of illicit minor. All these questions you will get. Now you remember all these rules, you get by heart all these rules, then we will apply these rules and we will determine the valid moods of 4 figures. And here you will get some other questions also. How do you determine the mood of a syllogism? What is a syllogism? What is a categorical syllogism? How many propositions are there in a syllogism? Then what is your minor term? That means where does the minor term occur, where does the middle term occur, what is the position of middle term in first figure, what is the position of middle term in second figure, in third figure and in fourth figure. So, all these questions you will get from these rules, from the categorical syllogism and from these rules. एंड एथर तो मु भावुची काउंसिल एग्जामिनेशन रे तुमरा जहाँ आसी 50 मार्क्स रो मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन पड़ो, तेणु से ही अनुसार तुम मैंने सब प्रिपेयर कर सब सर्ट क्वेश्चन गुड़ा भलरे प्रिपेयर कर 5 मार्क्स रा लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन तुम आसो 4टा से ही अनुसार तुम मैंने प्रिपेयर कर तापरे आम जो रहा 7th रूल, रूल नंबर 7, 8, 9 and 10. These rules we will discuss in the next class. So, मु तुमर कन्वर्सन सारिली, ओवर्सन सारिली and categorical syllogism मध्य तुमर सरिला. वर्तमान रूल्स चली, रूल्स परे आम जनरल syllogistic rules सरिबो, तापरे then there will be special syllogistic rules and reductions and all these things. So, exam बहुत कम दिन रहिला, then you prepare accordingly, prepare seriously. So, thank you students, thank you very much.